Hi there, I'm Miriam and welcome to Miriam's Manor. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today. Today's video is another Q&A. Now, I did not post one for last week, so I'm going to attempt to get caught up on the past 2 weeks worth of videos in today's video. So I'm going to try to just pull out as many as the questions as I possibly can. And that way we can make sure to get through all, I think, 4 videos that I posted over the last 2 weeks. So if you are just joining me for the first time, welcome. The content that I create is mostly everything Christmas, especially Christmas villaging. I do a lot of DIYs, tutorials, and dioramas. But I also do home decor as well as gardening. I do have everything separated out into playlists so that it makes it easier for you to find. For those of you who are joining me again, welcome back. I just want to make one quick announcement for my members. So we have a live stream scheduled August 20th at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Also, I rearranged my main page, if you guys have not noticed yet, to make it easier to find those member-only videos. So the member-only videos are for the gold star level and higher, and they are right on my main page now. So when you go to my video feed, that first top bar is the standard videos everyone can see. Right underneath that, you'll see another list of videos, and those are the members only live streams as well as members only videos in that tab right on the main screen. So it should make it really easy for you to find. You should also see the upcoming thumbnails for the live streams there as well. If you don't see it there, it is definitely posted in the community tab for you guys. So let's go ahead and get started into the first video that I posted. The first video that we are going to recap today was the video I posted on how to create styrofoam pillars using that XPF foam. And this was a carving method that I showed you guys how to do with an X-Acto knife and just a regular ballpoint pen. If you don't even have an X-Acto knife, you can use a box cutter, or a regular knife will work just fine for this technique as well. So the first comment was left by the Bad Artist, and he left kind of an off-topic question saying he was trying to find some new additions for his village, but can't, or her village. I don't know if you are a man or a woman, I'm sorry. But they are trying to find Victorian Christmas village pieces. So I know that Lemax as well as Department 56 both have Victorian style villages. You can type in Department 56 Victorian, or the same with Lemax Victorian, and they're in the Google search, and you should see several options pop up for you that way. But if any of you have Victorian style pieces, which I know several of you do because you actually have sent me pictures of them, if you wouldn't mind sharing where you purchased those in the comment section of this video, that way that would be a big help to those who are looking for that same style as well. So the next comment was left by Diana D, and she says, thanks for sharing, these are cool. Is it possible to make them look like pebbles are on the pillars instead of bricks? Yes, and absolutely. I actually, instead of doing a thicker brick and a thinner brick, I was originally going to do a pebble type finish or cobblestone type finish and a brick finish. But I decided to do the thinner and thicker brick instead to show you the different variations with that. But you can absolutely carve that out the same to look like cobblestone and achieve that same look. D actually piggybacked off of this comment and gave an awesome suggestion with mixing a little sand in with your acrylic paint and painting it on. That way you kind of get the gritty texture that you might be looking for, which is an awesome idea. So for those of you who try that, let me know and let me know how it turns out. And if I don't hear back from one of you, I might actually try it for myself, because I do actually have a ton of sand from when I did my resurrection scene. I have some sand left over from that project, so I might give that a try in a video and show you guys how that works out. But thank you for that suggestion, Dee. Marina Rivera says, great job. Thanks for sharing. You are very welcome. So Judith Van Camp is next, and she says, hi, Miriam. I made my small walls, pillars, and bows out of white foam and used the carving tool from Hotwire Foam Factory. A negative thing about that is they break easy when you give it too much pressure. But I can't get my hand on the pink foam yet. The pink looks much sturdier. Yes, it is much sturdier. And I'm so sorry you can't get your hands on that good foam, because when you're making projects like pillars or retaining walls and things like that, the pink or blue foam, the XPF foam, it actually is a lot better for those types of projects. It's super dense. And even when you cut it very thin, it's very difficult to like snap and break versus that white insulation foam, which is why I do choose when I'm making detailed projects to typically use the pink or the blue foam when I'm making smaller types of pieces. If you cannot get your hands on the pink or the blue foam yet, try getting some of the white foam that comes in like shipping packages. Sometimes is a lot thicker and more dense than the white insulation foam boards. So you might want to give that a try, like go to your local furniture store and ask if you can kind of sift through some of the styrofoam that they usually throw away and see if you can find some really thick pieces that way. So the next comment was from Shirley Edset, and she says, oh, how I wish I had seen this before I made my freehand standing cobblestone signs. I used white styrofoam with an etching tool from Hotwire Foam Factory. Yours looks so much better. I think I am off to Lowe's to get a piece of pink foam to remake the signs. Will the etching tool still work on the pink foam? Yes, by the way, the pink foam, you can still carve into it with your hot knife. You can still use your etching tool with it just fine. You can still use your sculpting tool as well as the freehand router on that foam. Now, if you have the power supply box, because that foam is more dense, you do want to turn your heat up to a higher setting. Even though I usually discourage using the heat setting at its maximum level when I am carving, that's only for the white foam, because the white foam expands very quickly. But because the pink foam is more dense, you do need to use a little bit more heat to carve the pattern that you are looking to achieve. So play with it on a scrap piece first, get your feel for it, and then carve it to your desired with the heat set at your desired level. Ryan Osmond says, thank you so much, Miriam. Excellent tutorial as usual. Thank you so much for a beautiful compliment, Ryan. Okay, so the next comment was left by Kathleen Harris, and Kathleen says she loves the pillars idea, and she also would like to do one with a block retaining wall. She wants to combine 2 different villages this year and use those walls to bring together both scenes. And I think that's a great idea, Kathleen. D. Sarge says, beautiful work again, Miriam. Thanks for the ideas and the step-by-step instruction. You are very welcome, D. Lloyd G. left the next comment, and he says, hi, Miriam. Another fun tutorial. All these little added items really help to give our villages a more personal feel to them. Love it. Now just make sure you're giving yourself enough time to get last year's village all down and put away. July is 2/3 of the way gone and only a week and a half left. Don't get yourself overwhelmed. I only say this because I care. All the best to you and yours. Thank you so much, Lloyd. That's so sweet of you. And I know you care. And I know it comes from a place of love. And I receive it in that manner as well, because you do know what I went through last year with trying to get my village up. I did not get my village up until very late in the year for a number of different reasons, but great news, I officially have taken my entire Christmas village down. So I, at this point, have a few custom orders that I actually am completing for a few clients, and then I'm getting started on my village right after that. So I'm really excited. So the next comment was from Twinkie G, and she says, "Hi Miriam, what a great demonstration. I actually like the whiter brick lines better." I ended up liking it better too. To me, it looks more natural and realistic, as well as adds a bit of aging to the bricks. I completely agree. She said, "Other than that, sis, I just wanted to tell you I actually dropped my phone while watching the beginning of this video. You and that hot knife are gonna lead me to therapy." OMG, you are killing me, sis. The way your fingers, hands, and wrists were dancing around that hot knife had me on edge. I was actually saying out loud, "Miriam, no." You be careful and safe, and keep a first aid kit in the room and all that good stuff. Stay blessed. Thank you so much, Twinkie. I know that type of foam, when you cut into it, especially if you do not have your heat setting all the way up, it just creates these stringy little fibers that want to stick to everything. And I could not get those little fibers separated from the hot knife and from each other. So I thought about you actually when I was doing that, because I'm like, oh no, Twinkie is gonna see this. So the next comment was from Veronica Val, and she says, "So cute, love the pillars, thanks for this." And you are very welcome, Veronica. Robin Wright says, "Very nice DIY tutorial, Miriam. I did one little addition to my pillars for my 2021 village. I made a small ball of aluminum foil and slightly pressure rolled over my brick pillars on the expanded styrofoam to add texture to the foam of the bricks." Yes, that is actually a really good idea. Then did the carving. Very cute final scene. Where did you get that bell? Oh, that wasn't a bell. We talked about that. So you guys, that is a really great idea. Before you start doing any of your carving, like he was saying, tightly wad up a ball of aluminum foil, and you can rub it over just lightly the foam that you're going to carve out, and do that first before you start carving the lines. And you can do it afterwards too, after you finish the lines. Just make sure you do it before you actually start the paint. But it does leave such a cool texture on the bricks if you want an aged brick look. I actually use that technique when I make sidewalks, and I'm actually getting ready to make some sidewalks and do a video for you guys on that. So what he's talking about, I will actually be doing in a video in the near future. So, but if you guys are attempting that, definitely take that if you want your bricks to have a more aged look. So Susan Hawkins left the next comment, and she says, "Beautiful work as always. You are definitely an artist. Thanks again for sharing your gift. Blessings to you and your family." Thank you so much, Susan. Faye left the last comment for this video, and she says, "As always, your tutorials are inspiring. Your use of practical tools are so helpful for sculpting beginners like me." Aw, thanks so much, Faye. I'm so happy to hear that. I do try in my videos to use things that you guys might already have around your house to get some of this stuff done, because I do understand that everybody has a ton of tools and different types of things. So I try to incorporate things that if you're just getting started and you really don't have anything yet, that these might be things that you can use and have around your house. So let's go ahead and jump into video number 2. Okay, so the second video for that week was me coming home from Seattle after 2 weeks and giving you guys a tour of my vegetable garden, as well as how my new flower bed is doing that I planted in the first week of June. So Luz left the first comment, and she says, "These pesky squirrels." Yes, the squirrels, I'm sure, can be pesky in the same way. Mine were rabbits that just ravished my garden. For those of you who have not seen that video, the rabbits went to town on my garden while I was gone. I came home, my entire banana pepper plant that was full and lush and green when I left had 0 leaves. When I say 0 leaves, I mean 0 leaves on it when I got back. I pulled the entire thing out of the ground, which I didn't do on camera, which I probably should have. But there was like no root ball at all that was left on that plant, because the rabbits burrowed in my bed, and there was like two little tiny roots like that long that were sticking out from the plant, they just completely ate through the entire root systems. Veronica Val left the next comment and she says, "Oh no, I'm so sorry to hear. That really sucks. I had stray cats using mine as a litter box. That really stinks." She says, "On another note, it's very difficult maintaining a garden in the heat. Mine never usually survives the summer." I do have several plants that react the same way in the extreme heat. Usually these squash, anything squash and like zucchini related, just shrivel up typically during the summer months for me, during the two hottest months. And I usually just reseed for fall, those crops in the fall. But my tomatoes and peppers and things like that do generally hold on. Even though the tomatoes do survive, they're no longer in production. They will produce flowers, but the flowers will not produce fruit because of the heat. So once it gets like consistently over 100 degrees, and which we've been there for quite some time, especially like 105 to 110, they just completely stop production. They stay alive and survive. And then once the weather breaks, like September-ish, I noticed that the flowers actually turn into fruit again. So just several more weeks, like 5 more weeks, and I should start seeing some tomato production again. So I'm really excited. Shirley Edset left the next comment and she says, "Rabbits, love them or hate them, they may be cute, but boy, they are destructive. We still have them, but the rabbit mace keeps them out of our flower beds. At least they run back out again. Have you tried lining your raised beds with hardware cloth or window screening across the bottom and up the sides? It will keep them from gaining access." Yes, I have. This is actually the first time that I am experiencing ever rabbits in my garden like this. So since the summer gardening season was definitely coming to somewhat of an end for me, I thought if I could just hang on until fall and kind of do some of this prep work in the fall when the weather is a lot nicer, that would make my life a lot easier. But I definitely need to address this issue with probably lining it with something sooner rather than later. I have pulled a ton of stuff out just because how bad everything was when I got back from vacation. So I only have a few crops left in my garden as of right now, but I am going to revamp my watering system this fall. And at the same time, I think I am going to go ahead and line with some chicken wire or something that will protect my crops for the fall. Okay, so the next comment is from Robin Wright, and he says, "All rights considered, I think your flower garden is amazing in that Arizona heat. Your poor vegetable garden, I feel your pain from all your hard work. The bunnies had an open buffet for 2 weeks." Yes, they did. "Perhaps a portable greenhouse might keep them away. Now, where are your gloves when pruning the overgrown and dead limbs? Dewan had a pair." Yeah, you guys, I'm terrible with gloves. I actually have like 6 pair of gardening gloves that I just never wear. I have not been able to find a pair that I feel like that will allow my hands to breathe while I am wearing them at the same time. And you guys, in Arizona, this heat is so intense. For those of you who have never been here, it is so terribly hot to keep anything on when you are working outside in the heat. So even gloves that just make like your hands sweat, and they're just a nuisance. Sometimes I do wear gloves when I'm working with my zucchini because the leaves on the underside of the leaves are actually kind of spiky. So when I'm pruning that plant, I do try to put gloves on if I can remember. But I'm so used to just constantly having my hands in the earth because I do love the feel of the earth in my hands that it's difficult to put gloves on for those 2 reasons. So, but I always make sure my babies are protected. They always have their gloves when they're working in the garden with me. D. Sarge says, "As far as the aphids go, you're gonna have to try 7. They also sell bunny and rodent repellent. Did you ever try the black pepper? The flower garden is beautiful. Thank you so very much." I did try the black pepper when I was home, and I was sprinkling it about every other day, and it worked wonders while I was actually at home to tend to the garden. We had a very bad rainstorm, like a monsoon storm, while I was gone. And I think it must have just washed it all away, because they just came right back in and had a field day in my garden. So such is life. Lloyd G says, hi Miriam, a mixed bag for sure, but you are focusing on the positive, which is always the right thing. Your vegetable garden did take the brunt of your Arizona weather and lack of attention. Well, the bunnies certainly gave it a lot of attention. Haha. Thankfully, you have already harvested a bounty of veggies from it, and now know that you'll need a garden sitter. Yes, absolutely. He also continues to say, your flower bed, however, looks amazing. After all the hard work and just getting those plants in the ground, it certainly paid off. Thank you so much. Yes, the majority of the flowers are thriving and looking beautiful. Congrats. As with life, there are positives and negatives. Learn from the negatives, celebrate the positives, and continue down your garden path. All the best to you and yours. Thank you so much, Lloyd. Yes, you guys, my flower garden is doing fantastic, which I planted some rather tender babies in the middle of the summer. So I was really concerned about how they would do, but I have taken extra precaution for them. They do get extra water, as well as a cover that I have set up, like a shade cloth over them for the hottest part of the day, to give them definitely a break from our Arizona summer. So as soon as the weather begins to break, like in September timeframe, middle of September, I'm going to take that completely off and just allow them to get some full sun, because a lot of the plants that I did put there are designed for full sun. It's just that planting them in the middle of summer when they're babies was not the best thing, but I knew if I could give them a little extra love that they would probably be okay, so that this fall they could actually be a little bit more mature. And you guys, they are gorgeous. Some of my cordyline reds did not make it. Actually, just one of them so far is the only one that I pulled up that I showed in the video. I went to the garden nursery at Lowe's right after I shot that video, and I found another canna lily that they had on sale for 50% off, and it was a yellow one this time. So I popped that in its place, and it's so pretty. I absolutely love it. I'm hoping to find another yellow canna to put on the other side to kind of balance each other out, so that I can have yellow on both ends, so it's just not like 3 reds and then 1 yellow all on its own. But we'll see as more of those come back later this fall, and plant another one and see how it goes. Sophia Merrill left the next comment, and she says, I once read a quote about the difference between a good gardener versus a bad gardener. The difference being that a good gardener doesn't give up and keeps trying. I'm so sorry for your garden setbacks. The fact that you can garden in the Arizona heat is a success in itself. You will bounce back. Thank you so much. And yes, absolutely. This is probably the largest setback that I've had in my garden since I started gardening, when I had just failure after failure when I was first learning and beginning how to garden, especially in Arizona. But now that I've had a handle on it, this is the worst setback that I have had. But it's okay, because plants do grow again. I'm very sentimental, so I do get attached to my plants, but all things considered, like Lloyd said, I was able to harvest so much fruit off of all of those plants before some of them went down. So I am thankful for that. And it'll just give me the opportunity to have that open space to plant something new and try something new for the fall season. So the next comment was left by Twinkie G, and she says, hi Miriam, sis, you did so much hard work with both gardens. As for your vegetable garden goes, at least you got a chance to see and enjoy what delicious and beautiful fruits they produced when they were healthy. So it wasn't a total loss, dear. I completely agree. And she says, your flowers look amazing in your other garden. Look at that lime green color. Gorgeous. I am very proud of you, Miriam. There are a few bumps along the way, but you never gave up. And look at the little one helping his mom out. Such a kind young man. To you and your beautiful family, stay safe and stay blessed. Thanks for sharing. Thank you so very much. And she's talking about my son helping me out pruning back the tomato plant. And he is such an awesome help in the garden. He is always right there to help me whenever I have a larger project. And it's so nice. I'm so thankful that he does have an interest in it, but that he's always willing to help out with it as well. Because sometimes it's a lot for me to just do by myself. But my kids actually do get out and help. They help me harvest and prune and weed and all of those sorts of things. So it does make the work go by a lot easier and faster when it can be shared. And they're getting old enough to actually be very effective and efficient in the garden. So that's really exciting too. So you guys, I noticed the sun is kind of going down where I'm sitting. So my lighting is changing a little bit as I'm shooting this. So I hope it doesn't look too bad when I go to edit all this footage. So Faye left the next comment and she says, "Hi Miriam, will you do a countdown post of the day you will be showing the Christmas in July contestants? Can't wait to see them." So you guys probably did see, I actually posted that about a week ago now, the subscriber tribute. I want to say it was July 28th. I posted that video and there were about 6 or 7 of you who sent in Christmas in July things to share with the group. So thank you guys so much for doing that. So Faye, I'm sure you caught that video already. So Marina Rivera says, "OMG, those bunnies are very determined to get your veggies." Yes, ma'am, they are. That was all for the garden tour for July. Okay, so the next video that I posted was actually the subscriber tribute video. And the first comment was left by Michelle, and she just says yay because she was excited to see everyone's stuff that they posted. Robert Clifford left the next comment and he says, "I always see your projects minutely and try to set them up." Aw, thanks Robert. And Eve says, Eve is my mama, you guys. That's Mama Eve. She said, "I definitely enjoyed looking at the beautiful creativity of all the villages submitted. Awesome job. I'm so looking forward to seeing all the villages for 2022. I'm sure we're all going to be blown away." And then congratulations to Diamera, who won the Limax Grand Carousel figurine riders that Robin Wright donated for our group. And I agree, Mom. I think that first of all, I know you guys, I am so excited for this contest for this year because what you guys have sent me so far, some of you, I am blown away. And for those of you who have sent me stuff and are still like on the edge of whether or not you want to submit, please just submit and allow everyone else to see your creativity and all of your beautiful work, because you guys, I'm telling you, you guys are going to be so amazed when you see what everyone has done. I am just at a loss for words with some of these builds. They just look so professional and so amazing. And I'm very excited to see what everyone else ends up coming up with for this season. So the next comment was from Rebecca Ferguson. She says, "I love all of those. If I put my village up now, it wouldn't come down till after Christmas. Also, I noticed someone had the Green's Garden House. I do too. I found it at an antique shop." Oh, that's so awesome. See, that's why it's so awesome that everybody shares these things, because we can see even just little pieces of ourselves and other people's villages. Kathleen Harris left the next comment and she says, "Those were also beautiful and creative. I thoroughly enjoyed each one and can't wait to see their December displays." I know. She said, "Miriam, I also noticed your influence on several. You should be so proud. Thank you for sharing." You guys, I am so proud when I see some of your creations. I honestly feel like a proud mama. It just makes me so happy to see that you've attempted some of the builds that I have put up on my channel. And not just attempted, but you guys nailed your projects. And then you made it your own on top of that, with making it a little bit different to fit your village or adding another piece to it. One of you made a ski slope and put a waterfall off the side of it. And that wasn't in that video. It was in an email that was sent to me. But the point is just seeing what you guys end up creating just from a little inspiration. A little inspiration goes a long way. And so I'm so excited to see the things that you guys come up with and seeing how you even make it your own. So Mama Eve left a separate note for Pat saying, hi Pat, we haven't talked in a while, but after seeing your Christmas in July village, I wanted to send you a note to tell you how much I love it. It was absolutely beautiful. And yes, it was, Pat. I think we all thoroughly enjoyed your alpine village. So Robin Wright left the next comment and he says, wow, the creativity expressed in these villages are amazing. Miriam, you're now an international star, and congratulations to the winner of the Limax Grand Carousel figurines. Hope we see a photo of your finished figurines. I don't know about that, but I'll take it. Thank you. And yes, Diamira, when you get your figurines all painted up, please submit a photo so that I can put it up in one of the videos to show everyone how you painted them and how you got them all together in your village. So Beachcomber D says, hi Miriam, I enjoyed seeing everyone's Christmas in July village setups. Pat's village inspired me. She gave me some good ideas. Loved her decorations, very pretty. She has a limited space like I do. I've been thinking a lot about how I want to design this year and incorporate some new ideas. Good job, everyone. See, and this is why we share, because you never know what person can pick up inspiration from your village. And even for the contest, I know I sound like a broken record, but it's not just about winning. It's about offering inspiration to someone else who is viewing your work of art. So allow everyone to be caught up in the beauty of what you create and see it from your perspective, because not one person can cover everyone's styles. We all have different styles. Even if we have similar elements, we can lay them out and design them differently. And space-wise, your space configuration might work better and mirror someone else's space a little bit more closely, where they can become inspired on how to set it up in their space as well. So I love Beachcomber D that you shared that. I think it's an awesome point to drive home, just to say, let's all share and gather our ideas and inspire one another. Michelle with MD Wedding Planner says, all so cute. Great job, everyone. Happy Christmas in July. Yes. And Lloyd G left the next comment on this video, and he says, hi Miriam, how nice that people were able to bring us a bit of Christmas creativity in July. When it's this hot, and boy has it been hot here in Maryland, I have trouble getting into the holiday spirit. My current focus seems to be scattered in a multitude of directions, and I'm doing my best to rein myself in. These images have helped to offer a bit of inspiration, and I truly do love being inspired. All the best to you and yours. Thanks, Lloyd. So Naomi P says, Miriam, thank you for including my electric alpine village. Oh, Naomi P is Pat. She says, thank you for including my eclectic alpine village display in your video. I'm enjoying mixing villages and people that work well together. The more people on my village display, the better. Amen, Pat. Pat and I probably are like two birds of a feather with this sentiment, because I always try to make sure my village has loads of people in it. It's a town and it needs to look lived in every space, in the neighborhoods and town squares and shopping areas and parks and all of these scenes that we end up creating for our village. I do feel like the more people you have in those spaces, the more it truly does bring your village to life. So Diamara says, oh my God, I never won anything. Thank you so much to Robin and you, Miriam. Can't wait to get them. Congratulations, Diamara. Twinkie G says, hi Miriam, I enjoyed everyone's villages. They all did such a great job. For all you that submitted, if you are reading my comment, I am so proud of you all. I'm looking forward to seeing your villages in December. You really have set the bar high for the rest of us. Also, I loved those hedges at the end. As for you, Miriam, thanks for providing the platform for everyone to share their amazing ideas and talents on your channel. We greatly appreciate you very, very much, sis. You and your family have a wonderful night. God bless you. Aw, thank you so much, Twinkie. I'm so glad to do it. I'm so glad to share. I'm just glad that we all have met each other and that we all share our passions with one another. I did not know there was such a large Christmas villaging community out there, because when my mom and I started our first village 6 years ago, I didn't know a single soul that actually villaged before that. So getting to know all of you has definitely enriched my soul and allowed us to share and have fun and talk about villaging stuff like only other villagers can understand, because we definitely have a little quirkiness to us all, and I just love that I can talk to somebody else about it and you guys get me. That to me is awesome. So that was the last comment for that video, and I actually have one more video, the video I posted most recently, and it was actually my vacation trip to Seattle and Tacoma. I planned this trip as a vacation for my family, but I ended up getting so inspired by the beauty of Washington State. Oh my gosh, it is one of the most beautiful places that I have been to in the United States. I can say that hands down. The greenery here is amazing, and I know I might be a little bit different because I am from the desert, so I just marvel at trees. Trees are one of my favorite things. But there's so many varieties of trees here that I just have to stop and take a picture of all of them. I was so inspired by my trip here and have so much that I want to recreate just from this trip alone. So let's go ahead and hop into the first comment from this video. And it was from Veronica Val. And Veronica says, wow, what a beautiful place. By the way, looks like y'all got photobombed on the picture from the circus. We did. The couple behind us were so hilarious. I didn't notice it until about the third picture that we took, that they actually were like full on in our picture. But they were such a lovely couple and they were so cute. But now they're on TV and everybody's gonna see them photobombing us. So now the joke's on them. Now they're photobombed because they're actually in my video. So Michelle with MD Wedding Planner says, great tip. Did you guys go to the Space Needle? The park was lovely. Thanks for sharing your vacation. Funny, I was in Seattle to take a cruise to Alaska in June. We were probably here at the same time. It was a little chilly even for me, a Marylander. I left the 90 degrees with humidity. Yes, it was cold. It was like 60 degrees a lot of the days I was in Washington in June. So it was really cold for me because that's my winter weather, you guys. So it was really cold. I was in sweats and a jacket most of the days. And I know that the natives are looking at me like, what is she doing? Why does she have all those clothes on? But it was cold for me, so we did not make it down to the Space Needle, unfortunately. We did have a good view of it from our hotel room, but hopefully the next time we make it back, we'll be able to venture down there and actually see it live and in person. So Shirley Edset says, hello. For some reason, 2 attempts at responding to this video got deleted on my end. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. So she says, I am attempting again for the 3rd time. Thank you for reminding me to take more notes of my surroundings. The Pacific Northwest is a beautiful place to live, but sometimes we get a little busy or self-involved that we forget to stop and smell the roses. I love it here and would not want to live anywhere else. So Shirley lives here in Washington State, and I would never want to work if I lived in a place like Washington State. I would be outside somewhere all the time. Oh my God, the gardens that I would have. First of all, I saw hydrangeas growing on the side of the road just because in Seattle and Tacoma, which completely blew my mind because I cannot grow hydrangeas where I am from. There's so many plants and flowers and shrubs and trees that we just cannot grow in the Arizona climate that are grown in Washington, that just sprout out of nowhere. We have to be so intentional of the plants that we plant and gardening. Nothing offers itself up like that, like plant wise in Arizona, really, unless it's like a cactus or like a desert type of shrub or flower. Nothing tropical or pretty just ever offers itself up, or y'all say volunteers itself. We don't have a ton of volunteer trees and things like that where we're from. So when I see just like the grass and the greenery and the shrubs like on the side of the freeways, it blows my mind. People's yards, we drove around some of the neighborhoods to see people's gardens. You guys, I can't even. I did not want to put people's front yards in the videos because their address plates were on there, and I just thought that might be inappropriate. But some of the pictures that I took of people's yards were so absolutely gorgeous. I would have a full-on amazing garden if I lived in a place like this, that I could just grow whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted. Oh my gosh. You guys would have a hard time getting to my front door. There'd be so many flowers. So the next comment was left by Deanna Fernandez. Deanna, I think this might be the first time you've left me a comment ever. I don't know if you just found me or if you're just leaving me a comment. But she says, thank you for the memories. I had my wedding at Seymour Conservatory in Tacoma. You guys, so that was the actual name of the greenhouse that I showed you in the park that I went to. I did not know that was the name. When you left me this comment, Dan, I actually looked it up, and it is the exact same place. It is absolutely gorgeous. I had such a wonderful time. That park is huge. My family and I walked around that park for hours and just spent hours there. They have a whole playground area, a splash pad. The kids went and played. We walked around the park, fed the squirrels, like just staying outside for hours. We had a picnic in the park that day. It was such a beautiful day filled with beautiful scenery. And that greenhouse, although I was not able to go in, I was able to peek in, and I was just blown away at the beauty in that place. So I cannot even imagine how beautiful your wedding must have been to have it in such a magical place like that. So the next comment was from Dee Sarge, and she says, beautiful scenery. It's going to be interesting to see what you do with all your inspiration. I'm sure it's going to be spectacular. I wonder if that additional 4-foot table will be enough. LOL, part one. Now, for those of you who are not members, I talked about possibly adding another table to do a U-shaped design in the members only live stream. And so that's what she's referring to, was the conversation we had about that a couple of weeks ago. But that additional table will absolutely be enough. It will be like the perfect actual space to have that entire park scene kind of laid out in that area. So I don't know. We'll see. Marina Rivera says, definitely a lot of inspiration. What a great time. Thank you so much. And Kathleen Harris left the next comment, and she says, what a fun family vacation, and yes, full of inspiration. Thanks for sharing. You are very welcome. And Norma K says, you look like you had a great time. Love the views you caught. Would love to recreate some of the scenes. I love to hear that, Norma. That's so wonderful. If you do end up recreating one of them, please send me a picture. I would love to see it. Lloyd left the next comment and said, hi, Miriam, you crack me up being all excited about wearing sweats. Ha ha. You guys, I was really excited about wearing sweats. So our summers start early in Arizona, and I don't know if you guys are aware, but we have temperatures that get up to like 120, 124 in our summer months, okay? But the other thing about Arizona is our mornings and our evenings stay hot once summer hits. So we don't have swings in our weather where we can actually wear like colder clothes in the mornings. When we wake up in the middle of summer, it's already 100 degrees, and then it just gets hotter throughout the day. So we don't have large swings in our weather from our lows to our highs. Whereas in the Pacific Northwest, it's very much that way. You can work up to like 90 degrees, but then when you when the sun begins to set or early mornings, it's like 50 degrees. So they have really large swings in their temperature, which is good for your plants and things to get a break from that heat. But it's hard to dress for. So yeah, but I really was enjoying wearing sweats in the middle of summer because I've been out of sweats at that point for like a good 3 months. I mean, it's like tank tops and shorts in Arizona since like April 1st, basically. So it's really nice to have like a change in the weather for me like that. But Lloyd continues on and says, I can't wait to see what and how you create for your village. So many options. Looks like your village is going to be even bigger than you first anticipated. So the question that I want answered, being the foodie that I am, is what was the flavor of the ice cream? Best ever is quite the statement. So I actually had 2 flavors in that particular cone that I showed. And the first scoop was a sea salt and caramel ribbons. And the second scoop was cold coffee brew and praline crunch. And it absolutely was the best ice cream ever. So me and my whole family kept going back to that place while we were in Seattle. And like we were addicted, you guys. It was actually pretty bad. I was thankful that we had left Seattle and gone back to Tacoma because we stopped at that place every single day and got 2 scoops and a huge waffle cone. And they were massive. They were not little bitty cones. They were ginormous. And the texture of that ice cream was so thick and creamy. Like it was super thick, but it was very soft at the same time and very creamy. I've never had ice cream like that before, but it's all homemade there, all the flavors and everything, and it was absolutely delicious. We were just walking by that place and happened to stop and saw someone else's ice cream cone as they were leaving the place, and we were like, we gotta go try that. And I was so thankful that we did, because it's good. If you guys are ever in downtown Seattle, go to Salt and Straw Ice Cream Shop. I do not think you will be disappointed. It was delicious. And so Trina Snowden left the next comment and she says, hello, Miriam. Thanks for sharing. The video was absolutely beautiful in all capital letters. Yes, it was. I've never visited Seattle, Washington. What a great trip. As always, you delivered. Thanks so much, Trina. That's so sweet. It is definitely a place to see for all of its beauty, for sure. That is definitely one of the things that I enjoyed most about my trip. Shantae Brown left the next comment and she says, hi Miriam, another great video. The park was so serene and peaceful. You and I have the same rhythm, just taking in the inspiration from wherever you go. Lemax should put you in their vision or creativity department so we can have more nature and scenic pieces figurines. You know what we're looking for. You have a beautiful family. Glad you all had a wonderful time. Thank you so much. Wouldn't that be so awesome? I was joking with her after this and was like, Lemax should let me design a line and call it the Miriam's Manor Lemax line. Oh, you guys, I would be like a kid in a candy store if that could ever happen. I think that would be really cool. So Amanda Davis says, thank you for this video, Miriam. That looked like a lovely family holiday. There was definitely a lot of inspiration there. I can't wait to see what you recreate. Aw, thank you so much, you guys. Whew. I have so many ideas in my head. Like, I'm going to have to narrow them down to not try to do it all. The ideas are non-stop. I have sketched out so many different designs that I have to kind of mesh some of them together and narrow it down. So Beachcomber D says, I love Seattle. Tacoma looks like a lovely place to visit. Thanks for sharing your vacation. Looks like you guys had a nice time. Such lovely scenery. Thank you so very much. I actually really enjoyed Tacoma more than Seattle. And I know that I'm probably one of the few that might say that, but I feel like Tacoma was a lot more family friendly. And also they just had so many areas that were just beautifully designed with nature. Seattle is beautiful, but you have a lot of tall buildings and they do a great job of having gardens within their tall skyrise downtown area. But I am such a nature lover that Tacoma is more spread out. They don't have as many taller buildings, and they have a lot more parks and gardens, community gardens and parks that you can visit that I saw anyway, that were just easily accessible when you were driving by, that you can just stop off the side of the road and see some beautiful place. So I thoroughly enjoyed that about Tacoma and had a great time. So Twinkie G left the next comment, and she says, "Aw, you guys look like you were enjoying yourselves. There was so much beautiful and natural scenery. There is lots of scenes that I know you can recreate for your village. I can't wait to see what you do. Stay safe and bless, sis." Thank you so much, Twinkie. Robin Wright left the last comment and says, "Oh wow, that first park was gorgeous with the mini waterfall under the bridge. The grass was so green everywhere for June. The floral colors were breathtaking in saturation. Some of your photos look professional to me. So jealous, especially the 2 individual photos of Aaliyah with the dandelions and Dewan looking for rocks to skip. Wish my students would take emotional photos like that. Beautiful trip for all to recharge your batteries for Miriam's Christmas Village Contest 2022. Thank you so much, Robin. That is such a beautiful compliment coming from you. You guys, Robin is a photography professor, so that is such a huge compliment coming from a professional photographer who does this for a living, and teaches other people also how to do it for a living. That my photos were inspirational to you, that really means a lot to me. I do try to I love taking candid shots of my babies when they're not looking at me and not posing for the camera, and they're just doing something and having fun. I love trying to capture those moments. So those are special photos for me too. So you guys, that is all I have for you. If you are still watching this video, you are awesome, and thank you. And I also want to ask a question for those of you who will not be participating in the Christmas Village contest for this year. I do need a few more volunteer judges. So the time commitment will probably be a minimum of like 15 to 20 hours of watching the 3 different video categories. And I only say that long because some of the judges last year did have to watch each video 2 to 3 times before they were able to really like thoroughly judge. So they probably watched each video maybe 3 to 4 hours. So if you are willing to commit to at least like 10 hours worth of judging time over the course of several weeks, please get back with me and let me know. You can email me at miriamsmanor@gmail.com, and I have put that below for you down on the screen. And just in the subject line, write volunteer judge, and then I can kind of narrow it down. I do want to have a minimum of 4 judges for the contest this year, and right now we only have 2. So I would like at least 2 more and maybe 3 so that we can have a backup just in case someone gets sick during that time. We can still have someone to fill that spot. But if you are interested, please send me an email. In the subject line, put volunteer judge. I would greatly appreciate it. If you guys haven't done so already, give me a big thumbs up for this video. I greatly appreciate it. If you have any questions for me, as always, leave me a line in the comment section and I will get back with you. You can become a member of my channel. There is a link in the description box of this video. Click on that link and it will take you to the join tab from there, so you can enter at the level you feel comfortable with. Subscribe to the channel and share the video. And until I see you again, stay safe, God bless you, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.